Hey everyone, Theron Asbury here with Revital Outdoors, bringing you another exciting podcast. Tonight we're going back to the great state of Missouri. We're going to interview Mr. Connor Cunningham. Connor is a phenomenal angler on Lake Table Rock, and he fishes all the BFL Ozark Division tournaments. He's got a great career for himself fishing in the BFL Ozark Division. He knows a lot about that post-spawn period, that spawn to post-spawn period, late spring, early summer. So he's going to give us a lot of insights for anglers that are fishing Table Rock this time of year. Before we get started, Revital Outdoors is proud to announce we are doing a $2,500 giveaway sweepstakes package for a lucky angler at the end of the year. All you have to do is hit the link at the top of the description right below this video. It takes 2 seconds to enter in, and then you're entered into the giveaway, and you could be that lucky angler that gets chosen at the end of the year. We've got great companies such as Flambeau Outdoors, Costa Del Mar, Seagar, Strike King Lures, and Tackle Warehouse in on this giveaway. So I promise you this is not one you're going to want to miss. So take time to hit that link and enter in. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. That way you get notified when all of our content is dropping. We've had a lot of great fun interviewing all the BFL anglers this year. A lot of great content has been happening. So thank you to everyone that's been tuning in and enjoying these podcasts. Make sure you leave a comment below what you like about these podcasts, what you want to see different. We really enjoy the feedback. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. That's Revital Outdoors. And if you've never heard of Revital Outdoors, we're a premium CBD company. We offer premium CBD products to all the outdoor enthusiasts out there. Remember, our products are THC-free. We're a worker-friendly brand. We're made right here in America. You can purchase them directly off our website. That's revitaloutdoors.com. That being said, let's go ahead and bring Connor directly into the studio from the great state of Missouri. How you doing this evening, Connor?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
You bet. You bet. So, we look at your past results from the BFL series with the Ozark division with Major League Fishing. You've really amassed a lot of great tournaments in that April-May period, kind of that, late spawn, post-spawn, early summertime. So, you look at Table Rock Lake, it's notorious for a springtime lake, a spawning, lake, even down in the fall when the fish start chasing up top and all that. But tell us a little about fishing Table Rock and the post-spawn period, that April-May time frame, and what makes it so special for you.
Man, the good thing about Table Rock is it's full of fish. So in saying that, not to sound cliche, but you can pretty much fish however you want to in those months. So as for me, I like to lean towards the power fishing techniques. If the lake's high at all, it's more conducive for that style of fishing. So, man, I love flipping a jig around bushes, throwing a spinner bait, things of that nature. That was due a lot of my success last year because the lake was high. If it's not, I try to lean towards the sight fishing techniques and everything to try to target the bigger largemouth and everything. But if that's not your thing, you can definitely catch them throwing a shaky head, more finesse tactics. April and May is a great time to throw a topwater. So it's pretty much wide open. So my suggestion would be to just do what you like and fish your strengths.
Okay. For anglers fishing this time of year on Table Rock, would you recommend, covering a lot of water and really pinpointing where you can, find the feeding fish? Or are you kind of guy that likes to get into an area on Table Rock and really slow down and just pick it completely apart in the hopes that, the shad move up in there or the fish are chasing? There's a lot of action going on Table Rock this time of year with the fish chasing, getting into that post-spawn period, feeding up, shad spawns fixing to happen. Kind of what's your game plan with that?
Definitely. So obviously in practice, I like to try to fish as much of the lake as I can, try to get a feel for what area is most conducive for the bite I'm trying to go after. So once I get that narrowed down, it is probably the best pattern fishing lake in the U.S., it seems like. So if you start catching them out of the back of a pocket, you can pretty much run the entire lake fishing that way. So to answer your question, trying to do both really, but it is the best pattern fishing lake in my opinion around. So
right. We look at Table Rock Lake, and it's really such a unique lake because anglers have the opportunity to catch all three main species of bass between your largemouth, your spotted bass, and smallmouth. Table Rock Lake is extremely known for its spotted bass population. It's got a great population of largemouth, but then it's got a hell of a population of smallmouth in it. And it seems like anglers that are winning tournaments, especially in the springtime when a lot of the bigger tournament trails are going to Table Rock, that March period around the spawn, they're catching largemouth and big smallmouth. Is that the truth this time of year, or is it just kind of wide open?
I'm going to say, the BFL this last weekend, I think it was pretty much dominated with big smallmouth and spotted bass. I think the lake came up too quick for the largemouth. But yeah, definitely this time of year you can mix all three and get a great bag. I think April and May is probably your best time of the year to win with smallmouth in Kentucky, especially the big smallmouth. Seems like they really like to bite in April.
Okay. Okay. And are you fishing more the main lake Clearwater, or are you going, down the river or up the river, trying to find that dirtier water, or what are you kind of doing?
Well, as for me, I like to try to get up in the dirtier water, try to catch the largemouth. But man, if you're going to go after the smallmouth and the spotted bass, you definitely need to go towards the lower end of the lake. That's where it seems like all the big smallmouth are. You can catch them throughout the whole entire lake, but if that's what you're targeting, it seems like the lower end of the lake is the best area for that style of fishing for sure, due to the clear water and a lot of good main lake structure to fish in that area too, where they like to live. So.
Right, right.
Yeah.
You mentioned a little bit about throwing a shaky head, a finesse technique. Finesse techniques have dominated on Table Rock in the past, as well as the crankbaits, the spinner baits. But it seems like anglers that anytime they want to do good, they have to have that spinning rod on the deck. You mentioned a shaky head. Is that your pretty much go-to finesse tactic on Table Rock, or is there other things that anglers can look at in the month of April and May?
Yeah, it's definitely probably one of my favorites. Something else that's really a good deal on Table Rock is just swimming around a small finesse style swim bait, like a 2.8 Kitech, 3.3, sizes like that. Especially if the fish are suspended, if there's a lot of current in the lake, it seems like that tactic will work a little bit better. And then just a good old fashioned split shot rig too will work. But definitely can't go wrong swimming around a swim bait or a grub, things like that, and then the shaky head too. So. Most definitely, those two get the call from me.
There's a lot of anglers that talk about the Alabama rig on Table Rock Lake, and it definitely proved itself to be a fish catcher there. But before the Alabama rig came out, I'm talking like when Brent Ehrler won the FLW Tour event in 2009, and anglers like Aaron Martins that have done really, really well in previous Bassmaster Elite Series events. These guys are from California. They're finesse anglers. And they really made a name for themselves. I think Brent kind of started it, throwing that smoke grub on Table Rock. I've heard that's kind of coming back. Is that true, or?
Oh, I don't really honestly think it ever went away. I grew up fishing with some of the best when it comes to that style of fishing. So I've got to see that in action, and I think the Alabama rig kind of overshadowed it for a while. But I definitely think you hit the nail right on the head with that assessment of it kind of trickling its way back in for sure. So I've seen a million A rigs, and that smoked grub, I don't think it ever went away. That's a staple for Table Rock.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, that's something that anglers are fishing extremely deep. Like, for instance, back in 2009, when Brent won that tournament, he was fishing a grub on a 1/4 ounce head in about 40 to 50 feet of water over the top of the submerged trees. This is not a shallow water technique at all.
No doubt. And yeah, you can go up on head size, but I kind of agree with Brent's idea on that, because once you get it down there, you can keep it moving slow. It's not pendulum too fast back to the boat. So
right.
That's not a surprise at all.
Absolutely. Well, Connor, I know you're fishing the BFL Ozark division tournaments this year. You've been doing pretty well this year. What's your goals throughout the rest of the year? What's the rest of 2022 look like for you, and what are you hoping to accomplish?
Man, I've got one more, I guess, regional tournament here, and then got the All-American coming up on Lake Hamilton. Been trying to make it down there. Going to try to go this weekend, so that's definitely a major goal of mine for this year. And then other than that, we got the next BFL, I believe, on Truman, so always look forward to going up there and hopefully staying in the hunt to make the regional on Grand Lake this fall. I definitely love fall fishing, and I'm starting to really like Grand Lake a lot more as I get to fish it more, and looking forward to that. And but definitely the All-American's definitely the goal for this year.
Yeah, absolutely. That All-American, it's the one tournament I think that every angler, from big to small, wants to win, just qualify for. Less than 1,000 people have ever fished that one tournament, and it's amassed a lot of great careers out there. You look at, Jeremy Lawyer, Jacob Wheeler, Clark Wentlet. There's a number of guys that have won that All-American, and that got them their leap start to fishing professionally today. So, that's definitely a great goal. So, well, Connor, really appreciate you taking the time to get on our podcast, talk about Table Rock Lake, fishing in Missouri this time of year. It can be very difficult, but you broke it down really well. Before we let you go, I know you got a lot of great family and sponsors and friends that support you in the Missouri area. Anybody like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. I'm always down to talk fishing. I'd like to thank my family. They definitely been a huge support crew. My girlfriend for putting up with me fishing all the time, and got a few sponsors I like to thank. Phoenix Boats. I've been running one the last 2 years. So I was fishing on an older boat up until then, and absolutely fallen in love with that boat. Mercury Marine, McAllister Marine's where I run my boat through. They always take really good care of me. And then this year I brought on a couple of bait companies, Crockett Gator. Love flipping their jigs around and throwing their buzz bait. They're one of my favorites. And then Halo rods this year. Definitely leading up to this last BFL, I was catching a few on the 7.6 Heavy HFX series, and it's working out really good since I've been using them this year. So thank you to all my sponsors and family. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, Connor. So from all of us at Revital Outdoors, you've been listening to Mr. Connor Cunningham, a really great angler in the state of Missouri. He kind of broke us down fishing Lake Table Rock in the month of April and May, that post-spawn period. So, Connor, appreciate you coming on our podcast. Before we let everybody go, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already, and then make sure you've been watching the rotating banner below this video. Hit that link at the top of the description right below this video. Enter into our sweepstakes giveaway. It just takes 3 seconds to do so. And I promise every angler out there is going to want to get in on this one. So thanks again for tuning into this podcast. I'm Theron Asbury. From all of us at Revital Outdoors, be safe out there. God bless. We'll talk to everyone very, very soon.